Hey, we're live, apparently, hopefully. Hi, I'm Steve. Welcome to another Mac84 live stream. And today we're going to be looking at this honking thing right in front of my desk here. Let me just get my screens associated with what I got to do here. There we go. That's much better. Super quiet. All right, let me fix that. Hold on, please. Uh, it's actually the highest that could go. Hold on, let me go to the settings here. Sound. How about that? Does that help? Does that help at all? Hopefully that sounds a little bit better. I'll give you guys a second to let me know. Hello, Jay. Hello, Aaron. Hello, Super 8 and Link. Alright, cool. Yeah, so I must have turned down the volume on that when I was doing the Mac84 stream. So, alright, so today we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. We're just be relaxing. It's a Saturday. Let's relax. We're going to have some fun. Um, let's move this stuff around so I can read the chat better. See the back of my head. Okay, so what I want to do here is you can see that I have a computer on my desk. And hey, Philip, thanks for joining. Okay, so the whole purpose of today's stream is going to be looking at this Macintosh right here. And so, for those of you who joined me in one of my previous recent streams, I was playing around with the Apple Tech Step. And one of the ways I was trying to interface with that was to send reports from that Tech Step to this computer. And the problem, as I humorously found out, was when I went to go put this disk into the floppy drive here, well, I'll show you exactly what happened. Yeah, it wasn't going in. Well, actually, when I did it on that stream, it just plunked right in. This has no floppy drive inside of it. At some point in time, I must have taken the floppy drive out. I completely forgot because when you look in here, it's dark. You can't really tell that there's no floppy drive in there. So what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can put a floppy disk drive back in there. I have a bunch of disks and stuff like that. That might be fun to look at. You know, some of these are labeled and such, but be fun to look at the unlabeled ones. Yes, I love those colored discs. I have a whole stack of them over there. If you saw the giveaway that I did, I had a bunch of them in there. I still have to mail that stuff out. Apologies. But yeah, so we're going to be looking at this, and this is a Performa 631 CD, so Macintosh Performa 631 CD. It's not a powered PC Macintosh, so it's a bit of a budget model there. It's a pretty nice one. It has the headphone jack right here, volume up and down, and an infrared little receiver there, so you could control your CDs that you're playing, or if you had a TV tuner card add-on or something, you could play around with that. Now, I'm not going to go through a full refurbishment or anything on this today. I just want to really put that floppy drive back in there, because then this will be a fully working system. There's also, I think this has an IDE hard drive in there. I might want to back that up, not maybe today, but eventually, because there's some files and stuff on there. That's good. Hey, you can never have too many discs. I mean, anytime I'm at a thrift store or a junk store, and I see like a box of discs like this, I always get them. I mean, this one was full. I've been using them over the years, but this holder is cool. And yeah, I mean, they it's not every day you see a bunch of floppy disks, and usually they're dirt cheap because nobody wants them. I think I have some Office Max labeled floppy disks that were like $1 or $2 for the whole box, and it was like 25 discs, and they were brand new. So, you never have too many discs. Hello, Raw Elements. Welcome to the stream here. Okay, so we're going to get started here by moving some stuff around on this desk. I did clean this off because I was doing a different shoot of some other items there, so hopefully it looks much better here. What happens is when I'm recapping stuff and just switching around one machine to the other, it gets a little crazy here. So, yeah, looks much better, I think. So, we have our Performa here, and I've already taken or loosened the front case here. And the bottom of the camera looks a little bit fuzzy. Let me just clean the lens of this camera, because I was screwing it into the tripod there. And I think I might have gotten a little smudge on the lens, because it's sort of smudgy here. Oh yes, you saw my Reddit post. Yes, so I was filming the Macintosh Plus. There we go. That should look much better once that dries there. That's much better. So I was filming. Hey, Greg. So I was filming a piece of the Macintosh Plus. We're much sharper now. And I decided I got a pretty good picture, so I posted it onto Reddit. I forget to post things on Reddit, but that vintage Apple community is fun. So whenever I get a chance to, I like to do that. And I always forget to post in the Facebook groups too, so I shared that there. And I got a good reaction of it, like 60 upload votes on Reddit or something like that. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, we're going to be looking at this Performa today. And, okay, I didn't recognize your username on there. Yeah, that Apple personal modem is right here, actually. This is a fun little modem. And this top is just the power plug there. So you could put it in either way if you're like on a power strip like this, or if you want to plug it into the wall like this. It's just a dial-up modem. It's a slower one, but yeah, something I want to play around with. It's Apple II compatible and Macintosh compatible, so I'll be playing around with this at one point with the Dream Pi setup I have, but won't be doing that today because that's going to require some preparation. Okay. I have the flu. Entertain me. Oh, I'm sorry, Brock. That sucks. Well, we'll try and keep everybody entertained. How about that? So, funny story. I've had this for years. I've taken this apart many times. The plastic on this one is notoriously brittle, so the back has some metal showing there. But April of last year, one of the Facebook groups had one of these machines, and it was just the parts, just the guts of it. They took the motherboard out, and they're basically selling everything else. And nobody wanted it. And the guy was literally saying, I'm going to bring this to the dump. I don't want it. And I'm thinking, those parts might be useful to me eventually. And I paid a stupid amount of money with shipping because this is all plastic, but there's a metal shell. And he said, do you want the metal shell? And I'm like, you know what? I probably do. Like, I actually probably want that eventually for one point. And, oh, I got to put Do Not Disturb on. Rocky, hello. You're not in the chat, but you're there. Don't forget to comment, sub, and give Steve money. Eep! Thank you. Thank you very much, Craig. That's very kind of you. How the heck do I turn on Do Not Disturb on this machine? Oh, boy. This is not... I'm not used to this version of the macOS. Hold on. Notifications and Do Not Disturb. Let's go from now. There we go. Cool. All right, so that should be done. Yeah, I'm on notification. Oh, okay. Now it's showing that it's on now. All right, whatever. It's on. All right, I'll take a look at that later on. I always get confused with that. Anyway, yeah. So anyone with iBook, same thought process lives near me. Okay. Well, I got it. Thank you. Very much appreciate that. But thank you, Greg. Eep. That's very sweet of you. So, yeah. So I got a bunch of parts for this, and so many parts are in 2 boxes. So the first box here. Give you a peek of what was inside. So I actually got this shipped in 2 boxes because this is so big. So the first is the wiring harness because these have a board that just slides out. So this alone I thought would be useful. So this is the wiring harness for the motherboard, and you have all the connectors here. We have an IDE connector for our hard disk, and we have an IDE connector for the CD-ROM drive, and then we have our power cables. So this goes. I believe this plugs into the power supply, maybe. And then we have, for our hard disk here, and we should have another one. Yeah, here's another one. I think this plugs right into. Oh, here's the SCSI port for the CD. It has this weird. You need like an edge connector type thing. And so this. Why do we have 2? Oh no, that's not IDE. Okay, there's only one IDE. That's for the hard drive. The other connector just looks like that, but it's probably for something else. So yeah, this was in there. We have a spare fan, and the guy packed this really well. This actually all came in one piece. So these are parts, Greg, for a Performa series like this that the guy was going to throw out. We have a speaker, and so he ended up shipping everything to me. Here's, I guess, one of the speaker cones type thing. Yes, this uses a SCSI CD-ROM drive. We have the back bezel, which mine is missing. So, I mean, I have it somewhere, but we have the little back bezel here. We have the upper part of the back bezel, which mine is missing. So, well, I have it somewhere. I don't know where it is, but yeah, it has a serial number on here. This is from October 9th, 1996 at 7 p.m. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Oh yeah, the ribbon cable is from here. So the motherboard of this just slides out. So the ribbon cable uh, is that's how these were. These were like a whole harness and everything. This oh, okay, that cable that looks like IDE goes to this little video card, which snaps onto the back. That actually comes through the back here. So yeah, so interesting. Yeah, so these are a bunch of parts. I don't know if his machine died or what. I can't recall, but he just wanted to get rid of everything, and it's not every day you see all of this. Oops, a screw fell out. What else is in here? Oh, here's the front bezel. So he actually had a slightly different model. And you could tell this was actually a PowerPC unit. Look at that. Same form factor though. Same form factor. This is a Performa 63060, and it was a PowerPC model, but you could see not too much of a difference there. In fact, I think it's identical. So yeah, that's good. It's a little yellowed, a yellowed gradient, but again, it's not often that you find these parts. So when you have them, take advantage of it. So put these parts away back in here. I forgot I had the bezel, so that was cool. So I'm going to keep these pieces out. I'm not going to probably screw them in or use them. I'm just going to illustrate where they go. That screw will go back in here. That speaker will go back in there. The octopus of cables will go back in here. Basically how this works is pretend this is the back of the computer. The motherboard slides into there. So if we had a board, I don't have one here, it would just slide right into those slots, which is pretty cool. Here's the video connector. We can put that away. And the fan. I don't think we'll be needing right now. So there is one more box, and hopefully that has what I'm looking for in it, because now let me take this up. Whoop, the box that I just had is tipping over. Let me take this camera down a little bit. Octopus. And there we go here. So I actually loosened this up because I didn't want the plastic to break on stream while I was fussing with it. And you can see these little clips here and here, they're still intact, but they go here and here. So that's how this snaps on. It just goes like that. So I was very, very careful to take that out because I didn't want to damage that. So we see here is what's missing. This is where the floppy drive is. I probably pulled this out for another computer at one point. I just never put it back in. We see we do have a hard drive here. This is an IDE hard drive. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. And here's the SCSI CD-ROM drive. I should just be able to, again, this plastic is kind of brittle, but I'm not going to force it. It kind of seems to want to stay in there. But the CD-ROM works, so that's not going to be replaced or anything. So yeah, so let's see, because we have, here's another floppy drive. Now this is an older one. This is from a Mac Classic. I'm not going to put this in here, but just want to show you the metal casing here is what I'm trying to find. So there should be a metal sled of some sorts that goes above this hard drive. You see there are these little grooves on the left and the right here. So I'm trying to find the metal tray that holds the floppy disk drive. And I think this guy sent a metal tray to me. Here's another floppy disk drive. This will be cleaned a little bit. This has a similar metal tray, but I don't think this is the one. I think this is actually from a Centra 650 or Power Macintosh 7200 or 7100. So I don't have that here. Yeah, so we're going to try and see if I have another box, and it's a much bigger box. We're going to see if those parts are in there. Yes, I do love these old Macs. Very easy. Whoops, don't worry, it's fine. Very easy to take apart. Very easy to maintain most of the time. Unless Apple didn't want you to take it apart, these machines are pretty easy to do so. Alright, just filling out the comments section here, looking through, see what you guys are saying. I almost bought a Mac of similar case. I think it was an LC630. Didn't want to ship the ancient plastic and CRT over 1,000 miles. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, I mean, this is actually pretty sturdy. I wasn't too concerned about this one, but I've seen others, if they were stored differently, the plastic can be very, very brittle. Okay, so speaking of plastic, let's get the other box up here. Oh, boy. Let's move the microphone here so we're not getting right in there. So here's the other box that I got. So this other box, let me just move this chair so I don't fall over myself. Yeah, let's move this camera up a little bit. Oops, that's the wrong direction. Oh, lemmings. Okay, so yeah, so here's the other box I have, and you can see we have what looks like the rest of a case for this type of machine. So here's the plastic case that slides on the top. Again, it's a little yellowed there, but here's the whole top case. And here's what made shipping the most difficult here. This is the big hunk of metal. I'm hoping that floppy tray is in here somewhere. So we're going to take apart that and take a look. I'm just going to put it down. I actually didn't remove any of the tape that the guy put on it. But let's see what else we have. We have, oh, here's the little front of the sound. Yeah, it looks, there's some rust on here. I would not be surprised if he tossed out that board or if that board didn't work, or maybe he used it for another project, because here's this rusty little I/O box for the sound. There's a little clip here. And here are the other two plastic pieces. These are the sides. So the side grill of the machine. You can see the feet toward the bottom. So yeah, these just snap onto that big hunk of metal. And oh yeah, he said there was a power supply. I don't think it works though. But I don't see anything suspicious right off the bat. But here's the power supply. Thankfully, the one in our system seems to be working currently. I don't know where that metal bracket goes. Thankfully, most of these metal brackets have part numbers, so if I find the service manual, I should probably find out exactly where this goes. So, yeah, okay, so, yeah, that's that. Let me put this plastic back over here. And we're going to focus on that metal part for now. And let's move this. Okay, and let's move our healthy Performa over here. And here's the big, let me actually do something real quick. Let me get a towel to put down, because this is all metal. And my desk is scratched and burned up enough as it is. So I don't want to add to that. So just going to put down this towel here. Yeah, there's a lot of rust on this thing, actually, if you look at that. Jeez. Yeah, that's a lot to ship that stuff. So this Performa is actually working, so we'll boot it up in a second. We'll show you what it's running. Unfortunately, he put some sticker right over this Apple stuff. This is not paper, so that actually should come off. But let's try and get this tape off, because I have to get into stuff on the side anyway. So. Alright, that's not proving to be problematic, so that's good. Alright, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, this might have been stored on the bottom of the garage or someplace wet outside. I mean, yeah. Alright, so let's look over here. Here's, it's all taped up again, so let's just liberate the sides here so we could move this around a bit. There we go. And I'm hoping that some of those rails are in here. It doesn't look like they are, but who knows. This is packed very well, I have to say that. Actually, oops, sorry. It might be in here, hopefully. I don't know. Let's see. No, it does. Well, hold on. Let's take a look at things. So, here, very sharp metal. Here's where the CD-ROM sits. So if we put that here, we can see the mirror of this is where the CD-ROM sits. This is where the hard disk sat under it. Maybe the floppy was just in a little riser or something. Where does this go? Let's see. Well, again, there's a part number on there, so maybe this sat like this or something. Who knows? Let's put that to the side. We'll take a look at that. And this looks like a card slot for video cards. That probably went toward the back, and probably the fan was in here too. So I don't think that's related to that. There's some Velcro here. There's a little strip here. Yeah, so this must have gone probably like this, because that would or something like that. But yeah, so all right, yeah, we already have this piece, so I don't have to worry about that. But it's a little unfortunate. You know, I didn't look at this before I brought it down from the attic, so I thought maybe this would have what we needed, but well, we might still be able to be okay though. Alright, so let's keep that little piece out here. Let's put this back. And it's all metal, so we don't have to pack it away too carefully. Alright, so let's move this off camera here, because we don't have to play around with this right now. So hold on one second. Okay, so that'll go back in the attic. But who knows? Maybe I might need that metal in the future. Alright, so let's put our little tools here. Get this towel out of the way. Okay, so, sorry, just catching up on this. So why are you doing this less than 3 hours before my... What are you talking about? I saw your stream was only for a few minutes. And I'm not gonna go on too long with this. We're just gonna have some fun here, Greg. You tell me when you're about to stream and I'll back off. How about that? Alright, sorry, just following up here. Diablo, that's a fun one. I never really got into that, but my wife was. Zeep, yeah. I was going to, see, read that. Yeah, those CRT displays are heavy. If Apple made a modern iMac with a Bondi blue and white translucent plastic, I would throw every penny I have on it. Building a Macintosh. Well, it's already here. We're not building the whole thing from the ground up. At 8 p.m. All right, it's 5:30 p.m. We're not recapping something. This isn't going to go on for 8 hours. Or it might, but it's probably not gonna. All right, so let's take a look at this machine here. Let's see if we can just put a floppy disk in it. All right, all right. So, yeah, I don't think. Well, let's see. I can't see of a place where this would, unless it was like. No, I don't really think this goes there. But let me show you the back of this machine first. Maybe we could look up the manual to that. All right, so here's the back of the machine. You can see it is missing some plastic here. Okay, so, ow, my fingers. All right, so we can see exactly where the plastic is missing. So, this goes right there. Whoop. There we go. Let's move the camera down a little bit. Yes, I love the iTunes visualizer. Why did I say webalizer? Anyway, so we have this little plastic piece that goes here. There's not really much to keep that in place except if you put the screws back. So there are two screws here and here, which should go in. I just don't have those screws. This actually hooks into the back here. So, yeah. Oh, I love those After Dark screensavers. And then if we were to put this back here, yeah, this would sort of cover some of that. And I'm not going to put this fully in because it looks like actually this plastic, see these feet here? One of them's already missing, but you can sort of see how this will go like that. And then all you have is this one, see, I guess on this model, on the PowerPC one, maybe there was additional card slot or something. I don't know why that's different on this, but yeah, I mean, most of the case is the same. But yeah, so that's what these pieces of plastic were for. That's where they would go. Mac Tetris enclosure. Yep. So we can actually pull out the board very easily. This little door handle type thing. So there's a few expansion slots here, so we'll get to that in a second. But let's wiggle this board out carefully. Okay, so you can see this is that connector that I was talking about before. So this slides into that octopus. Thankfully the handle is metal, so it won't snap off. So we have a few different options for this board, which is pretty cool. So here is a video in slot. So you could put one of those AV adapters in here. I do have one of those in another Macintosh, but basically you plug it in here and then those AV ports pop out the back of this little plastic panel here. Yes, there are old caps in here. These will be replaced, but this is a later model than the ones I have to replace, so I'm going to go in chronological order. We have a few other slots here. We have a PDS slot here. That's like an LC style PDS slot. It actually has an extra few pins on here, so I think it's like the LC3 PDS slot or one of those. They have so many of them, it's hard to remember, but it accepts standard PDS slots for like an LC, so I have an Ethernet card in here. And then we have another card in here that's for the communication slot. So this would allow you to put like a dial-up modem or an Ethernet card. So if you had a COM slot card, you could plug one of those in and then leave this PDS card slot open, which is good for a graphics card or something different or whatever you were doing. So this machine actually has quite a lot of slots, which is nice. So what else? It's always fun reading these things on the motherboard here. So this actually says single or double-sided banked 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, or 32 megabytes of DRAM. Yeah, so there's two RAM slots here. What's interesting is they're not lined up right next to each other. You can see there's this little chip here, and this slot is moved. So yeah, you can just I'm going to confirm this by making sure they're the same slot. I don't think one's VRAM or anything. No, they're exactly the same. So, you could have actually two memory slots in here. So, yeah, this is, you could probably put in, it says up to 32 megs here. So, oh, interesting. Okay, that's what this is saying here. So actually, this says single banked 1, 4, 16. So this could only accept up to 16 megs, and this one could do double banked up to 32. Interesting. It might have been a cost saving measure. Who knows? But yeah, that's pretty interesting. So it's good to read. So this has a Motorola 68LC040 processor at 33 megahertz. And we have your standard array of Macintosh I/O on the back. We have ADB, 2 serial ports, SCSI, sound in, microphone. I'm sorry, a sound out, microphone, and I had that Ethernet cord here. So, all right. So, yeah, this is a little bit dusty, but we can see. All right, that slot I was looking at before is actually for the board. I'm going to take the camera off the tripod, just show you. That's what that little octopus nest of wires looks like there. So you can see exactly what we're dealing with, and then there's a fan right up there. Yeah, so how about that? All right, so we're going to put this back over here, and again, our whole goal of this video is we're just going to try to put a floppy drive in. So I'm going to slide this back in here. All right, and this screw is actually not screwed in there, so this would actually help keep this screwed in there, but I think this screw has seen better days. There's some goop and rust around it or something, but anyway, well, we don't need to worry about that. It's pretty firm in there, so should be okay. This little handle actually goes up and locks when it wants to. Yeah, so those pieces of plastic and those screws would help keep this all together, but oh, and I forgot the memory. Oops. I'm not going to get too far without that. Let's take that screw out. Let's see, do we have a type of memory on this thing? Let's see. Let's put this back in. No, that RAM card is not out by purpose. Those RAM slots are dusty. Holy moly. Let's let's get out our compressed air. If I was smart enough not to lose the darn thing, which I was not. Let's look if it's on the table over here. Boy. I go through so many of those cans, you'd think I'd know where they are. Let me just look over here. No, I'm not seeing any, but you know what? It should be okay. I mean, it's a little dusty. If it doesn't work, we always rip it open again. It's not like we went through 50 screws or anything to get in here. So, okay, let's put this back in there. Just make sure I'm going the right direction. And I'm not, so. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now let's put this back in. Yes, the iMac sees all. Alright, so that's pretty good then. Now, yeah, I keep scratching this desk, unfortunately. And I'll show you why. This thing, there goes the screw. This thing doesn't really, I mean, this metal here sticks out. These feet are all gone. So, yeah, this desk is all scratched up already. But I'd like to avoid trying to add more scratches to it. But I need to get more of those little pads you put on the bottom. I have some for furniture, but they're way too big for this one. Anyway, we'll just be careful when we're moving this around. So I'll just like lift it slightly as I move it over. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's Bruce in iMac form right there. I don't know. All right, so you know what? This does have metal on the bottom. I wonder if I don't want this floppy drive to just sit on that hard drive. So you know what? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn on this other machine here, and we're gonna look at the service manual for this, and I'm gonna try and see first off where this piece goes, and see exactly where that floppy drive can fit. Yes, my supervisor. Alright, so let's, I know I have the service manuals on my network storage there, but sometimes it's easier just to Google it. So let's say Performa 630 service manual. There we go. That was much easier than connected to a network storage thing. Alright, so let's see. We got some diagrams here. We want to go all the way down to... Oh, look, it mentions the memory. Let's see how much memory it could take. Let's see. Memory. 4 megabytes of memory built in. Expandable to 36 megabytes if the logic board only has one slot. Or 52 megabytes if the logic board has 2 slots. One slot is a regular SIM slot. The other is a single-sided SIM slot. Interesting. Alright, so let's scroll down. We're looking at the take apart here. Ah, okay. This is a drive security bracket. So, unfortunately, this doesn't exactly do what we want, but what this does is it sits right here with a screw or so. There. And that sort of prevents someone from ripping the hard drive out, because you could easily take off that plastic, but you could put I guess a little screw there or something that would keep that out. So, okay. Yeah, so there is a carrier for the floppy drive, and you know, I've seen it. I know where it's in this house somewhere. Yeah, let me. There's a bunch of shelves over here, as you could see. I bet it would be on there somewhere. Yes, page 14 is it probably is the octopus. Yeah, you know what? Let me look over there just for a second, and see if I could find the hard disk. I'm sorry, the floppy drive carrier. I'll turn it so you could see me waddle around in here. Otherwise, you probably will get bored. But it's not. There's stuff on the floor. It doesn't. It's not like this is piled up indefinitely. And the microphone is pointed the other way. So, yeah. All right. Let's see. I might have found it. It looks suspiciously like one, but it might just be for a different machine. Yeah, I've always been a certified Mac hoarder. This actually looks like it might be for a different machine. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not seeing where this would plug in. Yeah, let's put that right there. There's another piece I want to get to. I need both hands, so I'll be right back. Let's see. Well, I did find the plastic. So this is the actual plastic to the back of this machine. So you can see it's a little bit different for one of the back. So this is the one from the PowerPC variant. So you can see there's a bit of a difference there. And the only real difference is that cutout right here. So I guess the PowerPC one maybe had a PCI card slot or something. That would make sense. But yeah, that's at least I have that now. That's funny. Both of them have this this hinge broken off. So, huh. All right, just catching up here. A lot, yeah. I mean, that. I keep saying this, but a lot of these Macs I started to collect about 15 years ago, or even more. So it's not like any of this stuff is new to me. It's been around for a while and was graciously patient. I'm graciously patient for my. I'm graciously thankful for my parents' patience. Yeah. 5 watts, maybe 50. Yeah, so I'm trying to think of what floppy disk drive, what machine this came out of, because this bracket's kind of interesting. Does the bracket have a number on it? It does. I'm going to look up this bracket. I'm just curious. Well, you know, I have ADD or whatever. I have to figure this out. So let's just do a search here. And let's just put in this number. Okay. It's not really coming up with anything. Well, there might be another number on this stamped somewhere. Get a screwdriver. Take this off here. I'll probably end up using one of these floppy drives anyway. It doesn't really matter which drive I'm going to use in this machine. I borrow a lot of drives from a lot of different machines. And some of them are just dirty, but they work. Some have to be cleaned. Some are dead, or they have a broken gear or something like that. All these machines I usually get in various states of disrepair. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. So I'm just taking the screws out of this little bracket here. Okay, and alright, let's see. No number. Huh. Oh, yep, yeah, there's a... It's a different number than I typed in here. So this is AT9204280-01A. Okay, this is not helping. AT9204280-01A. Huh. Yeah, so that has to be some sort of part number for something. Yeah, actually, let me. I'm gonna connect to my disk repository here and just find that's just the service manual collection I have. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Jay. I just need to get like a headset or something. I was just mumbling to myself, so sorry. You didn't miss, you didn't miss anything. You should rename this to Steve Mumbles to Himself live stream. That's basically what's going to go on here. Maybe it's 5 watts that it pulls when it's asleep. That would make a lot more sense, right? ASMR. Oh, I already did one of those videos. Okay, Apple service manuals. Here we go. Let's copy that to the hard disk here. 3 gigabytes. That's bigger than I thought. Well, that's a lot of service manuals. All right, so we're going to look at those service manuals in a second. I have a new Mac Mini on my mini stack here, if you haven't noticed. And I did a poll on Twitter and on Instagram, and it was pretty unanimous. Although Instagram was a little closer, Twitter was a clear winner there. But essentially, I have 4 Mac Minis here. This is the one that's running this screen here. It's a 2010 Core 2 Duo. It's a pretty capable machine. The bottom one here is Intel 2006 Core Duo model, not even a Core 2 Duo, just a Core Duo. This one here is a 1.5 gigahertz Mac Mini. That's the very last one. That was a G4, so the unadvertised 1.5 gigahertz model. And here is a 1.42 gigahertz model. And so this has a T on it that's running Tiger. This is running Leopard. This is an Intel one. Now, I put a poll on Twitter and on Instagram asking what version of the software should I run on this Mac Mini. Should I run Leopard or should I run Snow Leopard? And so a lot of people voted Snow Leopard. Now, right now, the machine is on Leopard. And I think they took away front row on Snow Leopard. I know there's probably a hack to put it back. But, you know, I was thinking, because this machine has Tiger on it, this machine has Leopard on it, I guess I'll just put Snow Leopard on the Intel machine. And so I thought I was just going to go ahead and do it, but I thought, you know what, let me put out a poll. And, okay, so front row is still there on Snow Leopard. Maybe it was Lion they took it away. I forget which one they took it away. But yeah, so I'm going to probably end up just installing Snow Leopard on here. And I'll probably do a stream out of that, because that might be fun. But I haven't installed Snow Leopard in ages. I do have a DVD for it. But I'd probably just do a network install or a FireWire disk mode install. It'd be much faster. But yeah, that's the new addition to my mini stack there. What's sort of funny, I mean, this mini at the bottom is, yes, I have to install Rosetta and QuickTime Player. Those are the 2 things I always install on a Snow Leopard install. I didn't forget that. Oh, nice. That's nice, Jay. So what's nice about this, the only thing I don't like is the condition of this Intel one. It's very beat up. And now look, I got it for free. It's not something I'm complaining about at all. But it has a Windows XP a genuine sticker on the side, so someone was definitely using Windows on this machine. And it's a bit scratched up. There was a label on the front here that you can still see some residue of. So yeah, it's a little messed up. But I had the power cord for it, booted right up. So yeah, so these are just pieces of tape there. Those are placeholders for labels. I do have my smart label printer right here. So I will be printing out labels for it. My network went down yesterday. I've rewired everything. Everything seems to work fine now. So I have a PC that's off to the side here. That's below this desk. And that sole purpose of that PC, is to run this little printer, which unfortunately is Windows only. I could run a VM on here or something like that, but I have that PC on running other tasks once in a while, so it's usually asleep. And so I'll just wake it up, and then that software's on there. I can just remote desktop type in what I want and print something out on that label. So it's a little convoluted for now, but that's just the way it's set up for now. So we'll print out some labels when we get that back online. Okay, while I was yakking away there, I got the service manuals copied. And the reason I copied those service manuals to the desktop, and I just dropped a screw on the floor, didn't I? Ah, shoot. Well, that was unfortunate. Where did that screw go? There it is. No, that's another screw. Well, might need that eventually. I knew that was going to happen. Okay, let me just see if I could catch this screw real quick, because... Yeah, there it is. All right. Glad we didn't lose that one. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the problem is, from what I remember using Wine, and I haven't used the Wine package in a long time, but I remember when I was using Wine, I couldn't interface with adapters and peripherals and stuff. Now, maybe that's changed. Last time I used Wine was probably like the Lion days or something. So maybe that was what I was running into. But this needs a driver and stuff like that, so I don't know if that's possible. Usually I just use a Windows XP VM or something like that. All right, so let me do what I was doing here. So let's see. There should be some Performa manuals here. Yes, there are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search on this part number, which is right here. I'm really curious what Mac this goes in. So if I do a search, it should index all of these PDF files, and I should have an understanding of which Macintosh it came from, because I don't want to steal this floppy drive from that Mac if it's something I want to put back in there. So where'd that number go? I was just looking at. Ah, there it is. All right, so let's see if this will actually work here. AT8204 CUA. It could also very well be that that this number that's stamped on here is not actually Apple's part number. It's just some random number. I don't know if it's for that specific model I have, Jay, because I did try some software before, but I'm willing to look at it again. I could sure as heck use one of these Mac Minis for it, but alright, so yeah, and I'm gonna guess this is for, I don't know. I'm very curious. It has a small connector there. What machine would I have taken this out of? It just sits like right there. Huh. Very curious indeed. Oh, I'll put it on upside down. Yeah, it was more like that, but yeah, so I have the bracket for this thing. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to borrow this hard drive. And this floppy disk drive. I'm just going to stick it in here. And it's not going to be pretty or anything. We're not going to put the plastics all back on or whatever. But what I will do is just... I don't even think it'll even slide back. Hold on, let's move some of this plastic here. So I just wanted to boot up this machine and look at some of these floppies here. Even if the floppy drive is dangling out the back or whatever, I don't care. Let's see. Sorry, just reading some of the... yeah, so maybe I'll try and install that software on here while we're playing around with floppy disks, because we have to label some disks. I do have a USB floppy drive here if all else fails, but we could do a few things here at once. So let's move these drives over here. So we have varying thickness of disk drives here. Well, you can't even see what I'm looking at here. So this is one from a Mac Classic. This is one from a 7100 series. And this was probably around the size of the one that fit in here, or maybe it was like this one here. This actually has a tray, but you know what? Maybe this one will fit better. Let's see. Let's see. I think this tray is a little too thick for this. Yeah. I don't think it likes it. Alright, well, you know what? We could just leave this out right there. It's going to look ugly, but maybe this floppy port is broken or something. Maybe that's why I took it out. I really don't know. But let's plug this machine in here. So we have a power cable hiding over here. I'm going to plug that in. I'm going to plug our ADB cable in here. So we have a keyboard. And I'm going to plug an Ethernet cable in. I have a spare Ethernet cable here. Let me just get it. It's a very long cable, but plenty of length for what we need here. just has to go to this little switch here. I got a 16-port switch, and I thought I would never fill that up. Well, never say never. Never say never. Okay, so let's wind up this cable so it's not as silly long here. Okay, that's much more neat and tidy. And we'll plug that into our Ethernet jack in the back on our PDS card. And let's lift this up and move it back a little bit so we don't scratch this desk as much. I'll put this stuff back on here along with these screws that we don't want to lose. Okay, so now we're pretty much good to go. We just need a monitor adapter. I'm going to put the Performa display on this monitor here. And so I'm going to be using this VGA cable and one of these little VGA to DB15 adapters. And there we go. So that should work for us here. So let's get the camera a little closer. And you know what? I do have a second camera right here. I do have a second tripod. Let me see if we could point one. I mean, I have OBS here. We can get fancy. Sorry, just catching up on the comments here. Let's see. Ooh, your Mac Mini died from the soundboard. Oh, that's sad. Yeah, I mean, the Performas aren't anything special. I wouldn't go out of your way to get one, but if you get one, yeah, if you get one, get a PowerPC one. Probably the majority of the reason why mine was full is I just left cables in there. Alright, so let's take apart this little tripod here because it could hold a phone. Oh yeah, this is something cool I've been meaning to show you guys. This is a little Apple pen. My aunt gave this to me. She had a Performa 6100 615 CD. This Apple pen was made in Germany, and it's a pen, and it has all the colors of the Apple logo on it. You used to be able to order these out of the catalog, but you may be thinking, where's the purple? Ah, there's the purple when you take the pen out. Isn't that cool? Now, the ink is all gone in this, but you can replace it. So, it's a cool little pen. I like hanging around to those little accessories. Alright, back on track here. Let's get OBS set up so maybe we can see. Let me move this over here for a second. See if we can get this other camera set up here. Let's see if I go here. Let's add another camera. I'm going to do this live, so it may not work. Who knows? We're going to try it out. And does it even see the camera? It might. Oh, yeah, there we go. It just sees it as a generic USB camera. Okay, so we're going to put this on this tripod here. Let me hide it just for a second. Oh, wrong camera. And we're going to see if we can point this closer to the screen so we can see what's going on there. Oh, this camera doesn't have a tripod mount. You son of a... That's annoying. Okay, well, we're going to use a stack of floppies as a tripod mount. Because that's what we do here at this channel. This is not gonna work out well. Let me see if I can just actually... I might be able to just like use this adapter here. And just like... Yeah, might be able to just hold this. Yeah, that's not the best, but it'll work. So let's enable that again. That's not too bad. We're going to put it back a little bit further. So when we boot up the machine, you could see it. But I thought this camera had a tripod thing. That must be the other Logitech I have, which is just not on the desk right now. Okay, so it's going to fall off. It's going to fall off. I know it. I just know it. But so we deal with here. You know what? That's going to have to work for now. So let's do this here. Let's move this here so we could see my face better. I do have the ability to do a screen capture, but it's nothing that is easy to set up. I have to use two like different adapters here, and I'm not going to be doing that. That'd be a little crazy. So I'm going to shrink me, whoop, and we're going to make this the primary thing of what you guys are looking at. How about that? Because I am less important to to the stuff I want to show off here. So we're going to shrink me down here, and we'll just keep me floating somewhere. There we go. That's all you need to see of me. No, no, no. We don't need to see my face. Okay, so let's switch this. And let's move our stack of floppies here. And let's turn on this Mac. Ah, there we go. Oh, hear that hard drive. Oh, boy. We want to get the data off of there probably pretty soon, huh? Wouldn't you say? We should get video in here in a second. There we go. Alright, let's move the microphone a little bit away from that. So you're not bombarded in your ears. Yeah, it's not really on a tripod. It's sort of like wobbly here, so we're going to get the best way we can get it, and that'll have to do, unfortunately. Yeah, those quantum drives are something special, huh? Nope. The camera got sad and decided to point down. We've all been there, camera. Oh, we almost got it. Come on. This tripod has like bendy legs, so it's sort of messing them up a bit, but yeah, capturing the screen would probably be a bit easier right now. Come on, focus, focus. Oh, you dumb camera. Oh wow, you're really focused. You can see my skin. Come on. There we go. All right. Okay, so the clock is not set to the correct time. We are aware of that. Alright, so let's look. That was the text step we had open there before. Let's clean up our desktop here. Alright, and let's see what this machine has. We have 36 megabytes of memory, so that's a 32 megabyte DIMM that's plugged in there. Because we have 4 megs of built-in memory, so that's not bad. But we lost our little Mac84 logo here. Well, you all know where you are, but there we go. Put that back in there. Okay. I love this wallpaper, yes. So, alright, so we're running macOS 8.0. And, let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, this has actually a lot of my own personal files on here. Let me wake up the G4 over there, because I want to copy this stuff off. Because I think last time I tried, this machine wouldn't talk to the Mac Mini, but well, let's see. Maybe I'm misremembering, because I think maybe we did get it to work. Alright, let's see. Yeah, Apple Share, let's make sure that Apple Talk is actually using Ethernet. Sometimes it likes to not default to that. Hope you guys can still hear me alright. Yeah, it's default to the printer port. We're not sharing over the printer port. No, sir. Alright. Let's save. Looks like we're only set to a low color amount here. Let's change the amount of colors we're using. Why is our control strip not showing? We need our control strip, darn it. Oh, it might not actually be installed. Huh. Yeah, maybe not. Show desktop when in background. Yes. Why was that not checked before? Alright, anyway, let's go to chooser again. Yeah, the extension may be off. We're disabled. Alright, go. Sweet. See, we got our Mac Mini here. And we got our G4. So let's connect to our Mac Mini. And that Mac Mini is probably like, what's going on? Something's trying to talk to me. I don't like it. Or it's just an incompatible version of Apple Talk. Okay, there we go. So let's, wrong keyboard. Let's type in our password here, see if we can connect to it. Connection to the server has been unexpectedly broken. Yep, that's what I expected. So let's connect to that G4 instead. Oh, it doesn't like that either. Huh. Oh, I have caps lock on. That might explain it. Let's try that again. Yeah, that worked. Okay, so let's try Tiger again. I might have just had my password on caps lock. Silly me. Wait for the Tiger Mac Mini to wake up again. I mean, it is awake. It's just like snoozing. Yeah, this does not like... The Tiger Mac Mini does not like me here. So we're going to just connect to the G4 then. That's why we have the G4 set up. Alright, so we're going to connect to the G4's hard drive. And there it is on our desktop. And we're going to make a new folder here called Performa 630 CD Backup. And we're going to open that, and we're going to back up the files that I have on here. So there's a lot of stuff that I probably want to save. I want to probably do actually... How much space is used in this drive? 480 megs. Let me copy over this pictures folder separately. Let's just use it as a gauge. This is 58 megabytes. That's going to take about 3 minutes. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to copy this entire thing up over, back up this thing over the network. I'm not going to do it now. Just this is important, so I'll do this first. Just catch up on some of the comments here. Tiger is amazing. It's the most compatible OS. Yeah, I really like Tiger, especially because of the classic environment. Yeah, those early versions of Mac OS 10 on those early G3s without the accelerated graphics or anything. I think the earliest version of OS 10 I would really go back to is maybe Jaguar. I remember wanting a lot of features with 10.1, and Jaguar just made internet sharing and... not internet sharing, I'm sorry. File sharing, a lot of that stuff much easier. Greg is live. Well, I'm sorry. Go watch Greg's stream if you want to see him race, but... I like 10.2. Hey, I remember getting 10.2 and being very excited about it, about Jaguar. And then Panther, I remember... I went to Panther on the opening day at the Apple Store and got... Well, I didn't get my copy there. I actually ordered it online and got it before it was actually released in stores. But I got, like, the dog tags and the flyers and stuff they were handing out. Tiger, same thing. We got it, you know, elsewhere. Not at the Apple Store. Yep, you have to install it on a drive that's... The partition has to be 8 gigabytes or smaller, and it has to be the first partition on the drive. So technically, you could use a 10 or 20 gigabyte drive. You just have to partition it so OS 10 is in the first 8 gigabytes, something along those lines. Alright, so we're still copying here about 2 more minutes. But this floppy drive should work, and I have some disks here. I'm not going to share all the information in them, but these are nostalgic for me because my aunt had a Performa, which it's one of the Performas that are over there. But this little pouch here has a bunch of floppies in it, and so if I open this pouch, you can see all the floppies that are coming out. And so some of these say like games or kids stuff and stuff like that. So I want to see what's on here. I want to see if these still work. Yeah, Apple really was showing its colors there. They did not care about the older Macs when OS 10 started to come out, and I understand why. I mean, yeah, it could be a capable OS on some of the G3 series, but they just didn't write drivers for some of that stuff. So, kind of a shame. Yeah, yeah. That setup Apple done trick has saved me a lot. I used it on this iMac G4. I used it on that MacBook. It just helps you reset the password very, very quickly. Yeah, so some of those early Macintosh systems have a hard drive limit of 128 gigabytes, or something like that, like 124 gigabytes or something. Hey, Dana, welcome to the party. So, yeah, so some early versions of those Power Mac G3 and G4 systems, or pretty much anything below that, have trouble seeing a larger size hard drive because of the ATA bus in there. So, yeah, you got to just be careful. It's not worth putting in a larger drive um, if it's not going to see it, and that's a limitation, I believe, of the ATA bus or the firmware that Apple was using in there, because you could get like a PCI tempo card from Sonnet or something and support larger drives and such. All right, so this is just about done copying here. This was kind of the most important file on here. These were all family pictures that my father scanned in years and years ago. I probably have them somewhere, but it does not hurt to back them up again. All right, cool. So that's copied here. Those photos originally lived on a SideQuest disk. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that they made their way over to a modern platform. All right, so let's see what's on some of these discs here. That's sort of the reason why we were streaming to begin with. Let's go to monitors and sound. Let's see if we're at 256 colors. It looks like it. Yes, we are. We can only go to 256 colors. It looks like. Yeah, we can only go to 256 colors. That's a bit of a bummer. I bet if we go to 640 by 480, maybe we can do more. Yeah, we can go to thousands. But what should we do, guys? 640 by 480 or 800 by 600? I mean, this might be a little easier for you guys to see things, but it's also a little zoomed in. Well, let me know what you guys prefer. Alright, 640 by 480 it is. Alright. So, let's try some more discs out here. I'm going to try just, oh, there was a disc I was curious what's on it. Okay, so this disc here, this floppy right here, I got at a thrift store. It was 25 cents. 25 cents. Let's see what's on it. Now, it is a PC disc, probably, but Mac OS 8 should be able to tell us if there's anything on it. Files. Oh, it's blank. I must have formatted it already. Alright, well, that's a blank disk. That was kind of underwhelming. Sorry. I must have did that already and forgot about it. Alright, auto eject drive, so that's good. Alright, so let's try some of these discs here. I am very, very curious, and I'm going to image these. Let's make sure we have disk copy on here, because I want to preserve what's ever on these discs. So we have disk copy 4.2. That's not exactly what I want to use. I mean, it should be alright, I guess. 630 multimedia series options. This must have been the original hard disk in this thing. Holy crap. Multimedia tour? Yeah, I definitely want to back up this hard disk. If there wasn't so many files on it, I'd say let's do it now, but it's going to take a while. Oh, boy. Oh, this is that hard drive that oh, man. So I backed up a hard drive for a museum And they had some Laserdisc video stack stuff on here. Where is the Voyager video disc settings? Nowhere, buddy. Wow. Can't understand vid control. Please contact the author. I love that image though of all these CDs, these TVs. That's pretty cool. Welcome to HyperCard. Alright, let's get out of this. Let's see, I'll check that out, Jay. Maybe it is in there. Jay is here. Yeah, it's always interesting, Dysfunctional Wombat, what you find on I'm sorry, Master Gecko 4, Charlie. That's what I meant. A lot of people talking today. Sorry. Oh yeah, here we go, disc copy. We're skipping. We don't got time. we gotta fix the clock on this. We'll do that in a second. Let's go to utilities here. You mentioned AOL Instant Messenger chat rooms. I just remembered I found a floppy disk upstairs that says AOL Instant Messenger chat logs. Let me go grab that. I'm very, very curious. While I grab that, I think I have some After Dark screensavers. We're going to look at some floppies, but I have to grab one from upstairs. So, to keep you entertained, look at this screensaver. I'll be right back. I always add the funky F out of habit. Because if you don't add the funky F, System 6 can't understand a file between a folder. That wascally wabbit. Okay. Yeah, so for those of you who didn't catch that, I had this little F there by holding Option F. It's sort of like a folder symbol. A lot of people use that because the early versions of the Macintosh system, if you had a folder and a file with the same name, you couldn't have it. It would overwrite it. So that's just one way to differentiate it. Yep. F. Funky F. Alright, so just catching up. Alright, so here's that disk I found. So AOL Instant Messenger AOL Instant Messages Disk 5. I'm not going to read my personal messages if there's anything on here. It's probably blank, but let's put a disk in and see if it can read it. It does show. I see the apple. We're going to put a shortcut to this on our desktop. Oh, I already have an alias on there for, I think, version 4. Yeah. Oh, I already had it installed. I'm an idiot. Whatever. It's probably on the disk or something. Nope. Ah. Okay, let's trash that and copy this one. Disk copy cannot update the disk image driver. Please unmount all disks and try again. Okay. There we go. Cool. Much better. AOL Instant Messages, Messages 5. Don't worry. Oh, 0. There's nothing on here. I got excited. I thought there was some goodies in here. Oh, well. Alright, let's see. Let's see what we got here. Now, there's some obvious discs here that that I'm curious about, but let's just go from one. Kids Stuff 2, Backup from Desktop. This is going to be a nostalgic trip for me. Probably most of these are ClarisWorks drawings. Yeah, I'll probably do a deleted search. I don't have the software set up here, Jay, but I'm not going to just trash the file or anything, the disc or anything. Kids Stuff 2, what's on here? Oh boy. Star Wars. Yeah, these are drawings and stuff. I don't think I have the software. Oh, maybe I do have ClarisWorks. This is probably I probably drew this. Document was created by a previous version. A copy will be opened and okay. I should actually image these discs instead of just opening them up. I remember doing this. That's supposed to be R2-D2 for those of you who can't understand this. Oh boy. Oh, that's great. Yeah, that's my drawing. Wow. You met the artist himself. All right, let's close this. I'm going to back up this disc here. Yeah, I love those gradients. Oh, it's so cool. All right, so let's back up this disc. Create new image from disk. And we're going to select this. Just going to do read only. I'll make a new folder called, oop, that's not what I wanted to do. And I want to make a new folder on the desktop called backup disks. Read only, save. I probably drew that when I was like probably 10 or 11, so not too bad, especially using a mouse. Sweet. Alright, so that disk was successfully backed up. And what we're going to also do is we're going to back those up to the G4 also. So, I thought I made a folder here. Yeah, Performa backup. We're going to copy that here. Yeah. Here we go. And, alright, so that disk has been read. We're going to put that over to the side. Let me see if there's anything else on here. I think I drew this. I might have drawn this one. Me and my brothers always drew or played games on my aunt's computer, so could very well be not ours. But oh yeah, I drew this one. It's the warthog guy from The Lion King. That's not too bad. I did draw. I used the line tool, so this is basically how I did it. So, but again, I was probably like 8 or 9 or 10 or something like that. So, well, that movie came out what, 94? So yeah, I was under 10 years old probably. Yeah, not bad for a kid. I did get the Performa from her, but alright, so my aunt usually kept things in pretty immaculate condition. So the Performa she gave me still works fine. I got a bunch of floppies from her. These I got from her just recently. Like, I went over to her house not long ago, and she still had these on her desk. So this is full of tax documents, so I'm not looking at that one. I'll probably just erase those. But yeah, a baby's work of art. We'll see. Was that what you were expecting, Jay? Oh boy. Yeah, Apple Works. Yeah, Apple Works is great. Just a version of ClarisWorks. Apple. This is an Andy Warhol painting. Very expensive. I'm gonna print it out on my StyleWire 2400 and put it on Etsy for $50. We don't gotta save that. Yeah, I think these are Print Shop Deluxe. The Print Shop Deluxe is on here. Of course, it's on here. Montgomery Elementary School. I think I know where this machine came from. Okay, just oh, okay. We got missing fonts here, so I think it's gonna freeze up on me. Yeah. Nope. Oh boy. Yeah, we are frozen here, guys. Yeah, yeah, that's what happens. That's certainly what happens. Um huh. Well, I really want to image the hard drive on this computer. Um yeah, I'll restart it. I'm just trying to think of something here. Um this IDE hard drive has a jump. Yeah, it does have a jumper. I just want to back up this hard drive in the quickest way possible. It's an IDE drive. The machine I would usually back it up to is that clone, but that doesn't have an IDE bus. Um, I guess I could open up the G4 and put it, but I can't drag the camera over there to show you, so that's gonna be boring. All right, let's reboot this thing first. Yeah, I'll probably end up doing that. I'll do something else while this images. We'll have fun with something else. I have another floppy drive I could plug into another machine, but this hard drive is making its standard noises. I can copy it over the network. It'll be a little slow, but we could definitely do that. So let's wait for this to boot up here. I I, I have varying success force quitting apps. So I always give it a shot, especially when I know nothing else is open, and if it crashes, I can just reboot it. Yeah, sometimes it will work, and in later versions of the Mac OS, like Mac OS 8 or 8.5 or 8.6, it usually will work. System 6 and System 7, it's like, maybe. Really? See, I found the opposite, but maybe it just, I'm confusing it in my mind. So this actually had the video TV tuner. What's Mac PC 98? Oh, there's so much software I want to play around with this on this thing. Yeah, let me trying to think. Let me see something. I'm gonna shut down the G4 over here. You're gonna see the back of my head for a second. But I just want to see if this machine has a spare hard disk here. You know, I think that's what I'll do. It should take like literally like 3 minutes because it's only 500 megabytes. I'm gonna plug that hard drive into the G4. All right, let's shut this down gracefully, and let's move the camera around here. Let's put this. Hold on a second here. I have to adjust something. 1 second. Let's see. And here we will do this. There we go. Okay. That's all right, Bruce. Well, thank you for saying hello. It's always nice when you say hello. And don't worry, this has gone on for God knows how long now? An hour and 26 minutes. I'm sure you have better things, Bruce, to do than have me look at my floppy disks. You have your own floppy disks to look at. But nice to see you anyway, man. Okay, exactly what happens when you press power reset on the Mac. What it's doing, it just brings yes, we're gonna put Bruce's icon of that eye. Just like I'm gonna just tape it to that Mac there. All right, let's take out this hard drive. So it's on a little sled here. Oh, sorry. So I just pulled out the IDE plug, pulled out the power cable, and this slides right out. How about that? Good. I'm glad, Bruce. Yeah, we showed off some cool parts earlier for some spare parts that I have. So this is a Quantum, no, not. Yeah, it is. Quantum Pro Drive, 500 megabytes AT. We are plugging this into the G4 there. Should I bring that G4 over here? Should I bring that G4 over here? It's all set up over there. Then I have to get a keyboard and a mouse. I have the floppy drive somewhere, Bruce. I just plugged in a this one just up here. It doesn't have the bracket. I looked at the service manual. The bracket looks very familiar. I know I have it somewhere, so I'm not going to shove one in there that doesn't belong in there. But that's something I do want to mess around with. All right, you know what? I'll bring the G4 over here. Why the heck not? Why the heck not? I mean, I can think of reasons why not, but... Oh boy. Oh, we got a heavy boy here. Put this on the ground here. Sorry you can't see it for a second. Okay. Jeopardy music. Yeah, that's exactly what's going on here. Alright, let me see. I could put this thing. Well, you know what? This thing, let me move the microphone here. That's what happens when you have so many Macs on your desk. Let's unplug this keyboard. So we're not turning this on right now. See, this is exactly how my desk gets so messy so easily. We just go a little nuts here. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to lift this whole machine up and just tilt it a little bit. That should give us enough room to put you smack dab looking right at the side of this G4 here. I'm going to have to back up this camera now. There we go. All right. Let's put this keyboard up here because we don't have a lot of... Well, let's put it somewhere. Okay. So this G4... where'd I get this one from? Usually I put a sticker on where I get them from. Yeah, that's a big boy. From work. There's a label right in the back. It says I got this from work. All right. So let's read the specs here. This is a Power Macintosh, 450 megahertz, 1 megabyte of cache, 256 megabytes of memory shipped with it. Had a 27 gig hard drive, DVD RAM drive, and a zip drive. All right. So let's open her up. So I've had this thing did not have this is a little funky in here actually. This zip drive should be going through this hole. It's not. Somebody messed this up. What the hell is this here? What the hell? Who was the... So, yeah. So this machine basically came to me. No hard drive, no memory. So I put memory in it. I put this airport card in it. Yeah, we have a SCSI card in here. I upgraded the video card. This is an NVIDIA 32 megabyte card. Yeah, so... I kind of want to fix this because this is not supposed to be like that. All right, it's gonna drive me crazy. Let's just. I don't want to get. I get sidetracked. I know. I'm sorry, but it's kind of bugging me there. Let's take out the faceplate. And does this just come forward? No, I have to unscrew these two front screws here. Someone put a different drive in here. Maybe it was me. But this is actually a CD burner drive because it says disk rewritable on it. So I don't think this is that DVD RAM drive. Yes, rabbit hole. Woo! I have rabbits, so that's why we go into a rabbit hole. Let's point the camera a little bit this way. There we go. So let's take... Alright, so just all sorts of flying around here. Here we go. Yeah, see this little metal thing, well, you can't really see. Let's bring the camera closer. This little metal peg here is supposed to go through this hole. It was actually resting on top of it. So we're just going to fix that very quickly here. Because... And this drive isn't even locked in here to any degree. Alright, well, whatever. We should be okay. Let's just adjust this cable so we don't kink it here. Hold this down enough a bit here, and this should... Huh. Alright, now that's probably why I was having so much trouble here. Yes, exactly. It's only 6:37 p.m. We're good. We're good. Oh, there's a power cable here that's like got caught there. There we go. There we go. That's exactly how it should be. Sit back perfectly there. Good. Alright, so we're gonna just put these screws back in here. I'll have to get some screws to secure this disk drive, but for now it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it's probably a PC one. I mean, I honestly don't know. You know what? I am curious if there's any markings on this drive. No? It looks like there might have been a label at... Oh, here's the label. It's a Mitsuma from... What year? Usually has a year on it. 2002. So, yeah. I mean, maybe this didn't have a drive, and I don't recall putting this drive in, to be honest, but Mike Stanhope gave me some Apple drives, so I might put an Apple one in here. But I'm not gonna really be booting off of it or anything like that. So, in fact, yeah, we could do it that way, I guess. I'm just talking to myself because I have a feeling when I plug this IDE drive in, that this LC or Performa hard drive may actually be set to master because it's expecting only to be the only drive on the channel. I may just unplug the CD drive and plug that in. Let's see. Sorry, just reading here. All right, so these cables is long. You know what? That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna plug this drive into the IDE bus here where the CD drives are, just to avoid any conflict. I'm gonna unplug that. I should have plenty of IDE cables around here somewhere, and we should just be able to use one of those just temporarily, just to copy this drive. It should not take us too long, hopefully. As he says, as he looks around the room, darting back and forth to where an IDE cable could be. Let's see. Okay, yeah, no worries. I hope to have this wrapped up fairly shortly. Well, I found some SCSI cables, but not IDE. I also found another hard drive. This one says Tiger installed. This is a 500 gig drive. So we'll play around with that another time, but just putting it here so I don't lose it. Oh, you know what? That G4 motherboard I had a very tiny IDE connector. Where did that go? Hold on. Hold on. Oops. Me tripping over the camera tripod. I have so many SCSI cables around. It's sort of embarrassing I can't find an IDE cable. Just hold on one second. Sorry, guys. Alright, this should work fine. Just have an IDE cable here. Yes, iMac intensifies. Alright, so this should be plenty. We're just going to use one of these channels here. Alright, so IDE, ATA, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same to me, baby. The iMac is always judging me, especially because I'm going to put a few cards in him. Some very unsupported cards in that iMac, which we'll be doing an update about soon. That iMac will be very unhappy. Or maybe we'll be very happy, who knows. Alright. Let's take out, this is actually from a G3, so we're going to put that to the side here. And, alright, so let's plug this in. How are we going to do this? Plug this in like that, I guess. Okay. We got plenty of cards for that iMac. Alright, so I'm not actually going to close this case because I'm sort of concerned about the way this cable is, so I'm just going to leave it open while we mess around here. Um, this cable came off. Where'd that cable go? Huh. Oh, well, we'll figure that out. All right, so we got some memory here. Let's see. Sorry about that. Windows XP. Yeah, it's good to do some cable management. I cannot do that right now. Well, I can, but actually, you know what? Let me, because it's gonna be hard to plug the ports in on this side. Let me just see how this. No, that's not exactly how this was designed to go. So, yeah, let's just do this. I'm just gonna turn this whole machine like that, and that way I can connect. Still can't really. Let's see if we can do it this way. Yeah, hold on. I have to lift this Performa up a little bit. Okay. And don't try this at home, kids. Okay, so the door is slightly collapsed, but at least I can plug some stuff into this. Alright, so we need our video first. And this has an ADC card in it, so we're going to need a VGA adapter for this VGA plug I have in here. So let's give you guys a preview of what I'm doing here. So we're only going to have this machine on for a quick time here. And I have my little drawers of adapters here. So we have a DVI one. We'll just pull out a DVI one here. Alright. So VGA to DVI. And we got that right here. Okay. Oh, that's a good dad joke. Alright, and well, let's plug in the Ethernet also, because if I'm going to back up that drive, I'm going to want to get that imaged relatively sooner rather than later. So, I mean, over the network sent rather. I can't even speak today. Okay, and we have a USB keyboard I'm going to steal from this Mac Mini. Just plug that into the side here. It should be fine. And we just need power, then we're good to go. So I'm going to steal the power cord from the one that we're plugging into this Performa here. Is that cord going to reach? That's this cord up here. That will make it reach. Alright. Okay, so this should be hopefully relatively maybe simple. Let's turn on this G4. Oh. That is a lot of hard drive sounds. Got two drives at once battling out there. Oh boy. Alright, we got a Happy Mac. Hopefully it's Mac OS 9. Yes it is. Okay, good. Alright, we could do our... Go back to this view now. Oh, Aaron, what a great joke. So, alright, let's just image this drive. Holy increased resolution, Batman. Oh boy. Yes, yes, yes. The time is setting correctly. The PRM's battery's dead. Who cares? I just want to see if that other hard drive is mounted. Please be mounted. Please, 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 please. Where is it? Where is it? This is a mess of a desktop. That's why I can't find anything. Clean up. That didn't do anything. Oh, where is the hard disk? Is it not showing up? Uh, yeah. Um, I'm not seeing it on the desktop, to be honest. It makes me a little concerned. Uh, let's go to System Profiler, see if it sees the disk in there. I could do a sort. Let me wait for System Profiler to wake up here. Hold on. It's a. I'm getting a the watch cursor. The system's kind of frozen. I opened up System Profiler. Maybe it's trying to read that disk or something. Um, Maybe you can't plug in disks through the IDE channel that the CD-ROM is in. I mean, I don't see why not, because I had the zip drive in there, and the zip drive's kind of like a hard disk. Huh. There we go. Okay. Devices and volumes. Let's see what it finds. Yeah, something must be screwy because it's taking its sweet time here. Yeah, it says hard drive, but everything says not available, not available, not available. I'm gonna probably end in like 15, 20 minutes, not even. Um, Sorry, we got sort of sidetracked here. I really want to copy this image off of this machine. Just open up Drive Setup, see if it sees that other disk. Nope, it froze the machine. Oh no, it's working. It's just. Well, the thing is that these old quantum drives don't. They have sort of a jumper area, but there's no real pattern of what those jumpers mean. And this is the only drive on the bus, so it shouldn't necessarily need to be master or primary or secondary or cable select. It should just work. Yes, I know you are, Charlie, so I'm not going to eat into that. Don't worry. But yeah, it's froze up here actually. Cursor's not moving. So that's a little concerning here. And I don't want to abruptly shut down or anything because that hard drive's connected in here. Oh boy. That's alright, Philip. Yes, I'm going to back it up now. Don't worry. Have a good one, man. Unfortunately, the machine's frozen. I'm going to have to... I'm going to have to force shut it down. I'm trying to think of why it wouldn't display unless this IDE cable's bad. Let me just go see if I can grab another one real quick. Maybe it will become unfrozen by the time I come back. Yes, it does have an airport card. All right, let's see. Alright, well, I found another cable here. Unfortunately, I am going to have to force shut this down. I don't see any other way around it. I do have a Firewire enclosure, but I have not been successful in using it. So I think this is really the only way, because I've done this before, but that hard drive had jumpers on it, so I knew which one was going where, etc. Um, Let me try one more thing here. Let me try an IDE cable with just, oh no, this has two on it also. Son of a, right, let me do this here. Let me plug this in. I'm gonna, because I can control the hard disk of the G4 and whether that's a primary or secondary. Let me just plug this in. Let's just see what happens. If it doesn't boot right away, I know that's because it's having a conflict, but we'll try anyway. Yeah, that might have been what it is, Jay. Unfortunately, this drive, it probably has some primary, secondary switches on there, but nothing that I could recognize because it probably was not designed to do that. Well, I could close this now because I'm not using that secondary cable. We'll try this again. If this doesn't boot to OS 9, then we very well know that it's conflicting there. Alright, that video card's a bit wobbly now. Great. Alright, let's turn this on. Okay. I'm hoping for a happy Mac. Ah! They are likely conflicting with each other. Yep. Alright, so let me switch the... Actually, I could do it this way now. Let's just switch the jumper. I can't do it this way. Oh, jeez. Just switch the jumper on the G4 hard drive to maybe cable select or something like that. And I need a jumper. I have a jumper here. Cable select or secondary? What should I put it in? It actually had nothing plugged into it. I think by default, if there's nothing, it's a single drive. I'm going to put this as secondary because I'm assuming the Performa drive is primary. So let's put this in as a secondary. Cable select. Alright, we'll try cable select. Alright, let's put that back in here. Alright, both drives are in. The G4 one is set to cable select. And let's plug her back in. Put her back on. Yes, option F over F. Yeah, sorry we sort of got sidetracked, guys, but I really want to back up that hard drive. So I hope you guys understand that. Oh, come on. Alright, cable select may not be the way to go on this. Let me reboot and hold down option. Hopefully it should show both volumes. Maybe it's just trying to start up from the wrong disk. Does anybody have a Macintosh where this screen isn't super slow on it? Or is that just me? Whenever I go to this screen, it like takes forever. I mean, I should be seeing one drive at least by now. Maybe that Performa drive is actually in cable select. I'll give it a few minutes then. Because we still got the little clock going around and around. I do have an OS 9 disk. I could probably boot off of that and see if it's seeing the drives. This is what, it's very easy to go down one of these rabbit holes. Very, very, very easy. Yeah, I'm just going to wait. Apple hardware test. No. Windows 95, definitely no. Macintosh Advocate. Apple Care for a diagnostic test. I don't need that. These are all diagnostic tests. All diagnostics tests. Hardware test, hardware test, hardware test. That's right, these came from that big set of discs I have. Yeah, these are not going to help. Oh wait, we have an 8.5 disc. 8.5 shipped on this machine, didn't it? Because if we could just boot up and make a disk image of, that's fine, I don't care. Let's, where's my phone? Let me check. Ah, okay. So 8.5 probably will not be happy with this machine then. Yeah, 8.6. All right, let's see. I have another disc. 1 second. I have these Apple Care discs. We have system recovery. These should work fine. It's for Power Mac G3. For Mac OS 9, that should be good. That should work. This is... Yeah, that 9 one should just work fine. Yeah, my camera is like dumb. Focus! Focus! There we go. Alright, I'm going to put one of these discs in there. Because I don't think this is happy, you know. Oh, I had the Apple Legacy CD in there, but that wasn't going to boot off of it. the CD drive was actually being accessed. Oh, you stupid camera. Alright, you know what? We're just gonna... We're just swapping to me. Because, this little camera here does not want to work. Now I just get a cursor, so it's not even thinking anymore. So let me restart it. Hold down C to boot up from the CD. You sound like Jason's Macintosh Museum. Focus, 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 focus. Alright, if we're booting off the CD, at least we can just see what hard drives it's detecting. You got a happy Mac at least. So we're booting off of the CD-ROM now. I can't do a good accent. Bruce would get mad at me. Yeah, so we got a bit sidetracked here. As we always do on this channel. As we always do. Let's see some icons on the desktop. Come on. Ah! Of course. So yeah, now it's not seeing any disk at all. Not supported, not mounted. And I can't mount the volume. And then one is not. Yeah, those are probably it's probably the zip drive. All right, let's shut this down. Let me try the secondary mode instead of cable select. Yeah, because I have it in cable select, but. Okay, Grudy, stop feeding them. What do you want me to tell you? Okay, so that is now in secondary mode. Let's try this again. Okay, well, sorry. Things happen. Got 15 people watching here. I'm not just going to end it for the sake of ending it. Alright, booting off the CD again. Crash on boot. Make sure you have your firmware updated on the Macintosh you're trying to boot 10.2 on. I don't know what Mac you're trying to boot Jaguar on, but make sure you have the firmware updated on your system. Still nothing. This is so stupid. Alright, I guess we're not going to get anywhere with this, because... Not initialized, not supported, not mounted. Yeah, nothing is, nothing wants to work here, so, alright, we're gonna... I'm restarting just without holding the seed key or anything. I doubt it's gonna work. So the disc is out of there. Alright, well, you know what? I'm going to try and let me shut this machine down. Unplug everything from it. And we're going to put this G4 back where it came from. Alright, and yeah, that was fun, wasn't it? I do have this. You could try this. I doubt it's going to work. But last thing we could try for the night is this little enclosure I have here. It is a Firewire enclosure. I usually can't get it to work. It's usually weird because it is weird. Just for the heck of it. Watch, this will work perfectly. Make me look like a fool. Alright, just need a Firewire cable here. That's the wrong type of Firewire. I need the 400 to 400 cable. What am I doing this time? I'm finishing this stream. That's what I'm doing. Well, I think I found like the longest Firewire cable I own. So this should be plenty. As I managed to tie more knots into it. Let's plug this into the Tiger Mac Mini. Oh, sorry. All right. That's right, I unplugged this keyboard. Yeah, I have one of the thin ones that came with my original iPod. Alright, we have the Mac Mini up here. Use this power cable to power the enclosure. Plug the Firewire cable into the enclosure. This enclosure used to house a CD-ROM drive. No longer does. And let's see if we can get this silly thing to work. You can hear the hard drive spinning. Let's see if it appears on the Mac desktop here. Let's see if it even appears on System Profiler. Because this enclosure, I think, needs to have a drive in a certain, like, setting. Yeah, see, it detects the CD-ROM drive, but we're not seeing anything. Let's open disk utility here. Yeah, it's not seeing it. Let me try the other FireWire port. There's two. You never know. Oh, I love FireWire, man. Love it, love it, love it. Huh. Again. That is really frustrating. Because I know the hard drive works in the Mac. Problem is, this silly hard drive here has these three little pins here. And I have no idea what those are for. It actually says voltages on it. 5 volt, 12 volt, and ground. So I don't think that's a jumper switch or anything. In fact, the jumper switches are probably under this plastic here. So I'm just curious at this point. I mean, it's an IDE ATA drive. There has to be... I think I actually see them now. There has to be some jumpers here. No, this hard drive does not have labels. The later ones usually did. This one unfortunately does not, Dana. Yep, I see it right here. Here it is. Right here. DS, SP, or CS. Your guess is as good as mine what those mean. We also have a spot for an LED. DS. Let's try CS. Why the heck not? Plug that back in. Leave that upside down. Turn that on. I just really want to back up this machine. Sounds like it's not gonna let me do that easily. That's what I'm guessing. It's set at CS now. It was set at DS, so let me turn it off. We'll try setting it to SP. Single platter? I don't friggin' know. Let's try it again. This shouldn't be as difficult. I mean, IDE, SCSI is usually what I have problems with. IDE drives, usually I just plug them in and I could copy them or whatever, but like I said, it might be this enclosure too. I've my suspicions of this enclosure working correctly, who knows? Again, this enclosure was designed for CD drives, so who frickin' knows what could be going on. But I do have some USB adapters. Maybe I'll play around with that. I won't do it on the stream though, because you guys are probably getting ready to do your other things here. I really don't want to be a jerk and take up that time. I'm just looking around here to see if I have anything else. Try without a jumper. Alright, well, we could do that too. Alright, this is without a jumper. It could just be, I guess this enclosure board is not meant for hard drives. I mean, I don't know why there would be a difference between them, because I don't know, but it recognizes this as a CD-ROM enclosure. And so maybe that chipset is just not happy with hard drives. I usually just use this enclosure for power. Yeah. But that's disappointing. I really want to just copy this drive off and continue looking at floppies, but as is life sometimes. I'm just looking around to see if I'm seeing any enclosures. I have a few, but I know they require like separate power cords and stuff. And I don't want to keep you guys much longer than I have to. Oh boy. Yeah, this is frustrating, guys. I'm just seeing if I could find anything else here, but I may have to throw in the towel on this one. Yeah, jeez. Yeah, let me just look over here 1 second. Let me see if I find anything. Yeah, let me grab something from upstairs. 1 second. Okay. Although I am loyal to FireWire, I found a USB adapter. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna mess with the G4 again. I have this USB adapter. I could try this now, and if this don't work, well, it don't work. So that's what we're dealing with tonight. So I had a USB extension cable I brought downstairs with me. Guess I'll just use this Apple one here. Which I put a twist tie on because I'm an idiot. All right, there we go. And I'm going to plug this in to the Intel Mac Mini, which should be able to read this okay. Um, Actually, you know what? No. I'm plugging this into the Tiger machine. I have more faith in Tiger than I do in that Intel Mac. Understanding these things. Alright, Greg, you're not starting for over a half hour, buddy. I won't be streaming when you are, if that's what you're so worried about. Okay. Okay, we have our USB adapter here and our silly short USB cable. And we're going to try this. Let's see if the USB bus understands this device. USB production. Oh, that's really super. Let's plug it into the Mac Mini then. I have a feeling it's the drivers for this device may not be PowerPC. I don't know. It's a USB 3 adapter, but come on. This USB adapter does not seem to want to be recognized. Let me just plug this into the Mac Pro here. It's the last thing I'm going to do. And then we'll stop the stream because I can't make much of a difference here, it seems. Alright, Jay, thanks for watching, man. Let's see. Let's see if the Mac Pro recognizes this. Probably not. Yeah, it looks like this drive just does not want to, I'll try the other jumpers, but that's the last thing I'm going to do here. And I'll mess with it off stream if I have to, but does not look like I'm having any luck here, guys, unfortunately. Try that last jumper and then that's it, dudes. What annoying. How annoying. But I will try it in the G4 after the stream. I like this. I like the sound of the hard drive, but Yeah, I should be able to see the drive. Oh, wait, the light's blinking now. Wait, wait, wait. I moved the jumper, the drive is blinking now. But this Mac probably has no idea how to read the file system, maybe? I mean, the adapter is blinking. It wasn't doing that before. So, yeah, I mean... let me unplug it from the Mac Pro, just try the other minis, and then we'll call it a night. Alright, so I plugged it into the Intel Mac Mini. So it's blinking again. But it doesn't look like it's being seen. It might be a bent cable, but I mean it's plugged directly into the system there. I'll try this G4 Mini just for the heck of it. I guess I could always use the SCSI card on the G4 to boot up the SCSI drive, and then this will be the only IDE drive, huh? I cannot find, for the life of me, the USB ports on these minis because of all the vents in the back. There we go. Ah, the last try. Ah, boy. Ah, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work there. But we tried, at least. We certainly tried. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, I guess we're gonna end it here. I really wanted to show you more floppies and such, but I really want to back up this drive because I'm afraid it's gonna die. Yeah, I'm frustrated too. So I apologize if we didn't exactly see what we wanted to see here, but I was just tinkering around. So I guess we'll just call it there. So I appreciate you everybody hanging out, messing around with me tonight with this computer. Hopefully we'll get that hard drive backed up, and then we can do whatever we want with it. Yeah, that's about it. Maybe I'll do a stream tomorrow and a little stream on Monday. Yeah, I always try and put in 110%. Thanks, Brock. There is a video I'm filming, so I might not be streaming as much. And yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna have some dinner, Greg, but I will be joining your stream at some point. So don't worry, I'll be there. So yeah, everybody look at Greg's stream, and I think Charlie has a stream going on soon too. So you could do double windows. If you split the audio, maybe you could have Greg in your right ear and Charlie in your left ear or something like that. But alright guys, well it's been fun. Hope you have a good weekend, and yeah, I'm going to awkwardly try and press the end stream button with my mouse. So, see you later.